A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Galatians. Brothers and sisters, through the law I died to the law, that I might live for God. I have been crucified with Christ, yet I live, no longer I, but Christ lives in me. Insofar as I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith in the Son of God, who has loved me and given himself up for me. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
The responsorial psalm. I will bless the Lord at all times.
I will bless the Lord at all times.
I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall be ever in my mouth. Let my soul glory in the Lord. The lowly will hear me and be glad.
I will bless the Lord at all times.
Glorify the Lord with me. Let us together extol his name. I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. I will bless the Lord at all times. Look to him that you may be radiant with joy, and your faces may not blush with shame. When the poor one called out, the Lord heard, and from all his distress he saved him. I will bless the Lord at all times. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Taste and see how good the Lord is. Blessed the man who takes refuge in him. I will bless the Lord at all times. Fear the Lord, you his holy ones, for naught is lacking to those who fear him. The great grow poor and hungry, but those who seek the Lord want for no good thing.
I will bless the Lord at all times. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Alleluia, alleluia. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John. Jesus said to his disciples, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He takes away every branch in me that does not bear fruit, and every one that does, he prunes so that it bears more fruit. You are already pruned because of the word that I spoke to you. Remain in me, as I remain in you. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit on its own unless it remains on the vine, so neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever remains in me and I in them will bear much fruit, because without me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like a branch and wither. People will gather them and throw them into a fire, and they'll be burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask for whatever you want, and it will be done for you. By this is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples. The Gospel of the Lord. We think we're living in times of great conflict and division, and we got Republicans and Democrats who hate each other and can't talk to each other, and they can't even agree on an opening of Congress together. And then we've got Tea Party people, and we've got over-bloated CEO incomes, and we've got the Occupy Wall Street movement. You've got all these things that are so divisive. Then you've got all kinds of arguments going on between various cardinals about what should really be going on in the synod and how should things be reformed or should they be reformed, and all of this. We think it's so horrible right now. 14th century, you had 3 popes running around all claiming to be pope. Now that's a mess. And Bridget of Sweden spent the last 20 or so years of her life in the city of Rome after having founded a religious order that is now named after her, the Bridgetines, and trying to get the Pope, along with St. Catherine of Siena, trying to get the Pope to get back out of Avignon get back into Rome, and to calm down this nonsense about 2 popes and then later on 3 popes. What a tremendous amount of faith it would take to stay with the church in that kind of a mess. She had it. She was a great saint because of it. And to this day, you can go to Rome, and in the Piazza Farnese, there is the church and the convent of the Brigittine sisters. And so you can see them there with their great faith and their great love. Today, I think what we want to do is to say, okay, what can we do to be people who foster unity rather than division? How can we be people that welcome others and to embrace them and to say, you know what, we can do things together. It's okay. We don't have to be identical in order to be able to agree. Okay? I think that there are too many people that think, if you're not in a 100% agreement with me, well, you're going to hell. You're out of here. Okay? It's not that. It's not that. We can have reconciled differences, and that's okay. We can be people who foster unity. We can be people who understand the power of the cross, as St. Bridget did. So today, what can we do to be people who encourage togetherness, who encourage unity rather than division? Let us stand and pray.